of speaking with the Melbourne District Superintendent, Dr. Burton. Dr. Burton, how are you doing today?
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us. A lot of our viewers watching would be interested in understanding what exactly is the role of a superintendent?
So, role of a superintendent, first and foremost, is to provide for the education of students. Overall, from the academics, co-curricular, mental health, and with that, you have the oversight of curriculum and instruction, personnel, all the staff to meet the needs of the students in the classroom, finances, all the monies that needs to pay for, as well as the facilities, and also community outreach. You often speak on behalf of the district, and so you want to get out into the community.
A lot of politics. I noticed you had multiple degrees in education. At what point did you know you were interested in pursuing a career in education?
So, always wanted to be a teacher. Probably if I think back in my schooling history, probably in third grade, I was given a little cutout of a person and said, decorate it to that what you wanted to be when you grew up, and it was a teacher. Wow. And having then been a teacher, got into the role of director of mathematics, assistant superintendent, that eventually landed in this role as superintendent.
You know, building yourself up, it's the American dream.
That is correct.
So you must be very proud that Melbourne School District is one of the best in the state. What ways have you seen it grow during your time here?
So in terms of the programming, in particular innovation, with regard to the things that we have done through the referendum, we have, as part of here at the high school, we've done the Melbourne Innovative Learning Lab, as well as innovative spaces at all of our schools. And one thing I'm really proud about is that we bought back a school, the Washington School. Yeah. And so that allowed for 7 buildings now to 8. And so that provides for the availability of expansion in the future as our community grows.
So you feel like it, provides a good transition from like elementary and middle as like kind of in the middle of that?
That is correct. All of our K-4, 5 K-4 schools all come together in our elementary school, giving them a unique experience with Leader and Me, and then provides for that opportunity for all of them to mix as they then transition to the middle school.
So if you had full discretion over a school system, what changes, if any, would you make?
Well, there is opportunities always for the availability of improving, and we're always about continuous improvement. And so innovation and continuing with the elements of innovation and giving kids opportunities beyond what they even have today, and the way in which you do that is asking students about what their passions are, very much like the space that we're in right now, and that is kids wanted to have more opportunities for broadcast. Kids wanted to have more opportunities for robotics. Since my time here, we have gone from a club of robotics to a full-on program and winning international competitions. And so the ability to improve, continuous improvement, is always on the forefront. But listening to students about what their goals, what their aspirations are, helps give you those movement forward to do it.
I gotta say, it's all proving. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do any of this without that. It's helping me, build my podcast, build my brand. And, on another note, as you may know, Melbourne and Short Hills have recently been subject to a lot of residential development. How do you plan for this influx of new students?
So we knew that in conversations we keep, again, as part of being a community partner, we've been in conversation with the Township Committee regarding as various different developments come online. And we have seen one of the things, as I mentioned earlier, we have bought Washington School that provided for and gave the availability of taking the 5th grade schools out of our elementary schools to give them a 5th grade experience, as well as the referendum, which has added on spaces at the middle school, added on the innovative space here. But we've also put together, as part of the referendum, a structure of our finances that in time, if we needed to add on to our buildings, we have provided the construct to do that. But for right now, we have provided for, as new developments come online, which of the home elementary schools they would have as their place for students to, recognizing that elementary, Washington, middle, and high would be the recipients of all of those. So we've got some foresight into the developments as they come online, and planning accordingly. A lot of it being the acquiring of Washington School, as well as the referenda.
It's great to hear that you have a plan in place. And every career has its challenges. Please explain to the audience some of the challenges unique to your role as superintendent.
Sure. As I mentioned again, the role and responsibility as a superintendent is always students, and students first, and then providing for all of the other things that I have purview to. And so the challenges come in the form of being able to meet the needs from a financial standpoint. Always, we have a fixed amount of money that we can 2% every year, give or take. From the staffing standpoint, we currently have, not just in Milburn, but around the state, a teacher shortage. And so that is finding teachers. You've got to be able to have very robust programs and resources. You have to have teachers in front of students each and every day. And on occasion, we do, like other districts, have challenges finding teachers. And the challenge is also we have 8 schools. We have the Ed Center. So that's like having 8 homes. And so a home always needs to have new roof, infrastructure. You have to keep those up as well. There's a challenge always of being able to get out there, managing everything that's happening in the district, but also making time to get out into the community.
Wow, and obviously the education system's always changing. Have you seen the education system change from the time you were a student?
Very much so. I think, in a word, technology. Probably when not to date myself, but when I started, we were using Commodore-type computers, and they were big floppy disks. So we're using them, but as to where technology is today, it has come light years too, and it's going to continue in that trajectory, as well as innovation, the availability of teaching practices and what we offer. We are much more differentiation of instruction about how we meet the needs of kids versus the one-size-fits-all is much better today for students. So a lot of changes in education.
Isn't that way everyone can kind of go their own path,
That is correct.
So throughout your time as a student, what extracurriculars, if any, were you involved in, and which one was your favorite?
So I was a basketball player.
Wow.
And so I was the captain of the basketball team. Took on leadership roles even then. I was on student council. Took a very active role in student council, student government, as well as math club. Loved math. That was my passion. So those were. But spent a lot of time probably in the basketball and leadership realm.
And throughout your time as a student, was there ever a teacher that inspired you, and why?
So I think that teacher would be Mrs. Smith. She was my pre-calculus and calculus teacher. I always did well in math, loved math, but really gave me the inspiration of seeing math as a puzzle. And I then later on, I think I attribute my true love of math in her pre-calculus and calculus class that I went on to get a math degree. And so she made it that everyone can learn math, not just simply those who really were good at math. Everyone could learn math, and was truly an inspirational teacher.
Do you have a favorite kind of math?
I think pre-calculus was probably my absolute favorite because of working with, she would give us the answers. One of her strategies, she would give us the answers and say, it's the process. That's what's so important. So here are all the answers to tonight's homework. Your job is to be able to, get to those, and using trigonometry to be able to find the answers. And so there was always an opportunity to grow and learn. And it was always, again, here's the answer to the puzzle, and her role was to be able to help guide you to. She truly was the inspiration of a lover of math.
What's the most impactful book you've read recently, and what impact has it had on you?
Sure. So this being Read Across America, one of the books that I read is If I Ran Your School. And so I have, on various opportunities, have read the book to my kindergartners, and for some of them, the irony may be above their head, but I thought I'd just quickly, very, very cute book. It was a gift to me that someone gave, and so In the beginning of it, it reads, "If I ran your school, we would start every day in a pledgefully way as we stand up and say, today I will learn how much fun can be from 8 after 8 until 3 after 3, while I smile all the while with a grin on my chin till the end of the day from the time we begin." So, again, I really take the idea of running your school to mean that I need to also connect with students. And I have a number of students that just in visiting classrooms, I visited their classroom in Redsom as a kindergarten, and I go back in second grade and they say, I remember you. And that's, I use the phrase, before I shake your hand at graduation, wanting to be able to connect with students and be in their classrooms, see them, be part of their celebrations. And one of the ways is recently was a student for a day and followed the students around the school and followed their schedule and lived their life and did everything that they did, including lunch and everything that went into what does it feel like, look like, sound like to be a student here in Milburn.
What was your favorite part of that experience?
Well, I have to say I liked, I was in AP Bio. That was pretty challenging, but it was great. I was sitting there actually doing the Algebra 2 problems. I have to tell you that it was being able to be back into the Algebra 2 classroom. It was fun being able to. I was sitting there being the student and doing the math with the student.
And what advice would you give to a student who would like to follow a similar career path as you?
So much like I did, I would speak to following your passion. We would probably ask students, what's your favorite subject? What is it you really love doing? And I would tell you even today, teaching math and being a teacher, because again, even as my role as a superintendent, once a teacher, you're always a teacher. And so following that passion that you want to instill in others, that passion. So what is it that you really like to be able to do? In this case, I really loved math, so teaching math was just something that I just enjoyed doing. And I'd leave with the idea to think about it as stars and scars. And what I mean by that is to celebrate the times, the stars, those celebrations, those wins, those ways in which you have an achievement, a celebration, an accomplishment, because they will happen. But then also, there will be times, there will be challenges. And you'll falter. You know, when mom says don't run and you ran, you skin your knee. Eventually, the knee will heal, and you will have that scar, you know, that says that you have healed. So it's important to celebrate the stars, but also remember the scars, and don't lose the lesson.
Thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.